what's up, Sub Squads? Factoring trinomial. This is kind of the heart of our factoring unit. Trinomial just means three terms. I'm just going to put it in quadratics. It's going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. We have 1, 2, 3 terms. So terms separated by plus or minuses. So we have 3 terms. If you have 3 terms, our first step always from our previous video should be take out the GCF if there are any. Then you have to ask yourself, is there 3 terms? Is it a trinomial? If yes, then you want to use guess and check. A lot of teachers do it differently. A lot of teachers use X method. I like to do the old school, just guess and check. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today. So let's take an example. If I have x squared minus x minus 12. The first thing you need to ask yourself, is there a GCF? No. You know, these guys have x's, but this doesn't. Remember, it's all or nothing. So then our goal is trinomial. Our goal is to factor it. So guess and check is pretty much just foiling. We're guessing our foiling. So what goes here is your factors of your a terms. So it's 1 and 1. So 1 times 1. So you list out all your factors here. Over here, you list out all your factors of 12. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and that's it. We don't have to repeat them. So you have 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. And then when you multiply this inside term and this outside term, when you multiply them and you add them up, it should add up to your middle term, which is negative 1x. So we are using a, b, and c value in all these terms. So your a value, your factors of a, your factors of c, and has to add up to your b value. All right, so your first term, these guys represent the first term. A lot of kids get this confused because students believe that these two guys are representing the first two inside the parentheses and these guys represent the back two. It is not. These guys represent the first terms of each parentheses. These guys represent the back terms of each parentheses. So here you have 1x, 1x. We only have one option here. Here we have multiple options. Our goal is to figure out when I multiply them by 1. Right now the a value is 1, so it's very easy. All you have to ask yourself are, what are factors of 12 that adds up to negative 1? Well, if you go through this list, which one of these will work? So 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is the only one that will actually add up. So we have 3, we have 4. We want negative 1, so we have 3x, we have 4x. Does that add up to negative 1? Yes. How do we do that? We need the negative 4 there. So negatives here, plus is there. Now we factored it. So we broke it up into pieces. So multiplication there. X plus 3 times x minus 4 is x squared minus x minus 12. We can always check this by foiling this, because it is backwards distribution. Let's distribute this, guys. So you have x times x squared. Let's pass it over there. 4x. Let's take this 3, pass it there. 3x there. And pass this over here, we get negative 12. We combine like terms there. So you have x squared minus x minus 12. This looks like that. And we are good to go. And that's how you check your answers. All right, let's try one more example together. Let's try another one. Let's try 3x squared plus 3x minus 6. Your first step is to see, is there GCF? 3, 3, and negative 6. Yes, 3 is my GCF, so let's take that out. When we take out GCF, we divide everything by that. So you divide everything by 3 first. So you do that, you get x squared plus x minus 2. Now our goal is to factor this trinomial. If we can, it might not always be factorable, so we have to use other ways, other means, so like quadratic formula or completing the square. So let's practice this though. Factors of 1, so it's 1x and 1x. Factors of 2, you only have 1 times 2, so that's nice, there's only one option. But it has to add up to what? Your middle term, 1x. So you have 1x, 1 times 1x, 1 times 2 is 2x. You have 1x and 2x. How can that add up to 1x? You have to make this guy 2 minus 1 is 1. So then this guy's negative, that guy's positive, and that is your factor. We just factored this trinomial by taking out GCF first and then factoring that out. Alright, that concludes our lesson. We're going to try 3 examples, basic, intermediate, and advanced. Let's try doing those. Let's go. Alright, so we finished our lesson with trinomials. Remember, trinomials with 3 terms. Let's try 3 examples. Let's try x squared plus 2x minus 15. I'm going to guess and check it. I'll help you. I'll start you off. Remember, factors of A, factors of C, and it has to add up to your B value. So try it. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to a minute. Just try your best. If you finish early, you can check your answers by foiling real quick or distributing real quick and see if you get it right. And give about 30 seconds to a minute. Go. Alright, let's try this. Factors of 1 is 1 times 1. That's it. Factors of 15. 1 times 15. 3 times 5. There's only 2 of them, so that's nice. We know this one has to be it. And make sure it has to add up to 2x. So you have 1x here. Factors of 15 that adds up to 2. 1 and 15 cannot add up to 2. 3 and 5 does. So you have 3x. You have 5x because you multiply these guys. 3 and 5, how do I get 2? You make this one negative, so you have minus there and plus there. And we factor that basic trinomial. Check your answers. Make sure you have the minus and the plus. A lot of kids make a mistake there, but always check it, and then you won't have that problem. All right, good job. All right, our intermediate problem. Let's throw in, let's make it one level more difficult. 2x squared plus 2x minus 12. Take out GCF if there are any, and then factor the trinomial if you can. That's all I want. Just try it. Like I said, it's always just trying your best. So I'm going to give about 30 seconds to a minute. Go. Let's try it. 2, 2, and 12. Is there GCF? Yes. 2 is my GCF. So we're going to make it 2 times smaller. So we have that. So 2 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2, negative 12 divided by 2, which is 6. It's a trinomial here, so let's try factoring that guy. Here you have 1, so 1 times 1, so it's 1x, 1x. Make sure it adds up to what value? 1x, middle term. And then you have 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Which one of these guys will fit here, which will add up to 1, which is 2 and 3. I needed positive 1, so you have 2x. 3x has to add up, so then this guy has to be minus, and minus there, plus there. Don't forget this 2. We need that 2 there. A lot of kids just tend to forget about the 2, even though they take it out here. So make sure you keep it there as your answer. All right, check your answers. Make sure you're good there. Let's try our advanced problem now. Our last problem. Try your best on this. So you have 9x squared plus 33x minus 12. We're going to solve this guy. One more step. We just have to set him equal to 0 once you factor it. Try your best. Take out GCF if you can. Factor it if you can. And then set it equal to 0 once you're done. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to a minute. Go. Alright, what is my GCF? 9, 33, and negative 12. It is 3. So we divide everything by 3. We make it 3 times smaller. So you have 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. And our goal is to factor this guy. So it's factors of 3. That's 1 and 3. So it's 1x, 3x. There's only one option there. And then factors of 4, which is 1, 4, 2, 2. Has to add up to 11x, or B term. So let's read this guy. From here, we just have to test it because our B value, we have a 3 here. So our A value is technically not 1, so it's a little bit harder. We have to test it. Let's try 1 and 4. Let's try 1 here and 4 there. We're just testing it. Right here you get 3x, you have 4x. Does that equal 11 somehow? No, that did not work. So that didn't work. So we gotta flip it. Let's try flipping it. You get that. So 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1. Does 12 and 1 somehow equal 11? Yes. We have to make this guy negative. So you have negative there. We have positive there. So right now we just factored it. So 3 times x plus 4 times 3x minus 1. Our last step is to set equal to 0. This 3 is it's fixed, so you can't change it. It won't change. There's no variable, so we could just leave that out. We have to set these two guys equal to 0. So x plus 4 equals 0. So you get negative 4. That's one answer. And then we do 3x minus 1 equals 0. This is the one I was talking about where you don't want to just say opposite. This is my answer. You want to solve it. So you have to add 1 and divide by 3. So we get 1/3. So 1/3 and negative 4, they are my x-intercepts. So negative 4 and 1/3. This is a hard problem because the a value is not 1. So we have to test multiple ways. Make sure if you try 1 and 4, if that doesn't work, you also flip it because you can multiply 4 times 3. It changes the value of it. So you have to check, even though there's only 2 combinations here, there's technically 4 because we also have to check the flip. So be careful there. And then once you have your factors, we set each factor equal to 0, we get our answers, we solve it, and we're good to go. So that concludes our lesson with factoring trinomials. Factoring takes practice, so practice, practice, practice. If these videos helped you, please subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and let's get ready for some more videos.